we're here today. This is an episode of Dating with Boobie, right? And would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm Jess.
Okay. We have Jess. And we have a few questions here, all right? So, what is the hardest part about communicating with the opposite sex?
The hardest part, I believe, or I think, is most people like to be right. They don't like to be wrong. They don't like to admit that they're wrong. And I will say, like, there's some times where I'm like that too. I mean, we're all human.
Mm-hmm.
So I just feel like some people don't really like to say what's on their mind because sometimes it causes arguments.
Mm-hmm.
Or people that say what's on their mind, like a lot of people don't like hearing the truth, so then that causes an argument. Or they could communicate and maybe, again, somebody might not like what the other person says, and then instead of having a civilized conversation, it starts to be like it just blows up.
Mm-hmm.
Or it goes like straight up left instead of where it's supposed to be, or it goes off in a tangent, and then they're arguing about something else that has nothing to do with what they're talking about. So I just feel like sometimes communicating, you just have to have that balance, and everybody has to, I guess, be accountable for their own actions. You're not accountable if you're not gonna admit. Some people don't like to admit they're wrong. So then they try to either switch up the conversation, or they try to switch it to make it seem like the other person's wrong. And then it's just a back and forth thing.
Okay, I agree with that 100%, right? I feel like a lot of people are afraid to have the hard conversations and challenge themselves to be accountable for things. Everything you're saying, I agree with for a hard time, completely. I think the hardest part with me talking with the opposite sex is how it's received. Even though it's the truth, it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Right, the tone.
The tone, and usually women hear with their emotions and men hear with their logic, right? So I've had a lot of situations where honesty is perceived as an attack, right? And usually when I'm trying to address the problem, me addressing the problem becomes the problem.
Right.
So then it becomes two problems. And then trying to, navigate through emotions and logic at the same time. Ultimately, the guy is always wrong. You have to apologize for how we made her feel rather than fixing the solution. Then we have the same repetition. I've had a situation where I had an ex, she asked me, it's like, does this make me look fat? Am I getting heavy? Right? Now, the truth is, you're getting heavy. And I knew what the option was. If I told her a lie, I wouldn't have to argue. And if I told her the truth, she's probably not going to receive that well. I told her the truth. I said, yes, you are getting a little heavy, right? And then it turned into how she felt. You don't find me attractive no more. Oh, you're talking to other people. Why are you with me in the first place? Right? And then I had to deal with that. And then we didn't even fix the issue. So I think that's the hardest part about communicating with a woman, is because it's hard to navigate through the emotional aspect. And men are logical. So it's hard.
But do you say all men are logical?
All right.
Because there's some men that they put their emotions in it too, and it turns sideways as well. So you can't say all men they just think logic, because there are some men, they do put their emotions in